Hello there.
Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, what have we here?
Jedi, we've been expecting you.
Knew I could count on you.
Hello.
Welcome to the rebellion.
What fun!
What's up, everyone? Hybrid here, and today we're taking a look at a Star Wars The Black Series figure from The Mandalorian and Grogu. This upcoming movie is so exciting. I am so ready to be seeing this in theaters, and getting these figures a little bit early always has me very excited. This figure is one that a lot of people have been talking about. It is the Imperial Remnant AT-AT driver. This is the new trooper from the movie. You know, a lot of our other troopers we have gotten in this wave are pre-existing designs that have been grimed up and had some armor pieces swapped. And this guy is something new because we've never seen the Empire even use AT-RTs, but this implies that they were the whole time, and we just didn't see them in the movies or the shows we've seen so far. But this guy's really cool. If you look close at him, and I will point this out in depth in the review, but he appears to have a lot of snowtrooper pieces. So a lot of the fun conversation has been, is this going to open the door for a brand new mold Black Series Stormtrooper, or Stormtrooper? I certainly hope so, but all this said, let's go ahead and jump into my, as always, thorough reviews, and we're going to start right now. And here's the AT-RT driver still in the packaging. I like to take a quick look before I tear them open for those inbox collectors. You've got your Black Series logo, a big window with him and his accessories shown off nicely. He is number 3 in the line. You have his name there, and that's all in that dark purpley blue they chose for the Mandalorian and Grogu packaging. Warning 4+ Hasbro over here. Side of the box features some really cool artwork of him. You have his name down below that. And then over here is your wraparound window, wraparound stripe, and a Black Series logo. Around back is another Black Series logo, a zoom in on that side art, and then the bio of the movie in 5 different languages. Pause and read whichever language best applies to you. He's number 3 in the line. You have a bunch of legal stuff, barcode and more legal stuff underneath, and then a hanger tab up top. It is a very standard Hasbro action figure type of package. So all said, let's go ahead and open them up and take an in-depth look at everything going on inside. Here we have the AT-RT driver out of the packaging, and I am so excited about this guy. This guy is offering a lot of potential for a new snowtrooper, but he's also a really fun figure on his own, of course. To start with the accessory, he comes with that officer pistol that we have seen Death Troopers use. We have seen the AT-AT pilot this wave use. It is a very, very nice sculpt. It's one that we've seen in the line before. Whether this is a resculpt of the same gun or not, hard to tell. But it is in a dark, dark gray, almost black plastic, and it looks rather nice. He has a working hip holster, like so, and it stows very securely in there. Or he features a trigger finger on either hand, and some great articulation, which just immediately, he's already in a nice looking pose, but, you work at it, you can get him in some pretty legendary poses. Setting that blaster aside, and just setting him down, my initial thoughts is like, wow. Just looking at this guy, he looks really, really good. They have done some good usage of, like, the tan bodysuit underneath to assist in the look of grime that this guy has as a Remnant trooper, because generally you would expect him to have a fairly light bodysuit. However, not entirely the case with the snowtroopers, as I will bring a snowtrooper in here. This is our original snowtrooper sculpt. We've not had a redo of it yet. But you put them side by side, and you're like, oh yeah, now you see it, right? You're like, yeah. Between the bodysuit being the same and the legs being the same and the arms being the same, and this chest armor is an overlay. So we're talking like a helmet and an overlay. Like, we're getting a new snowtrooper at some point in the next year or two. We have to. But this guy has like a cleaner, cream, bodysuit going on. And then he's got some mud around the boots, because he's boots on the ground. But this guy's kind of got a lot more cream going on. It's like a darker tone, and it just really helps with that weathering vibe that he's got going on. This guy just looks excellent. So the chest and helmet come from the Scarif Beach Stormtroopers. We've seen them reused for the AT-CT pilots. We've seen them reused for the chest armor for the hover tank pilots, at least. We've seen this design a little bit now, and now we've seen it reused for the AT-RT pilots. And I think it probably fits. Instead of having like eye lenses like a lot of the Stormtroopers, he's got like a big wide visor going on. I think driving a fast-moving vehicle like that would require a little bit more visibility than your average Stormtrooper helmet provides, so I'm really amped on that. But other than that, he's got that black stripe across the chest indicating some sort of rank or position. And then other than that, he is fairly clean other than, the subtle weathering. He's got some discoloring going on. I imagine in his heyday he was very white, but as he's been, deserted in this sect of Imperials on a base, his armor has gotten rather grungy, and as is the case with other Remnant troopers. But I really like how this guy turned out ultimately. Just some excellent sculpting. That helmet looks good. I love how the paint is settled in the grooves of it. That's just very nice weathering. Although around back, you do start to clean up a little bit. Hasbro doesn't generally do weathering on the back side of figures, even if they should be dirty everywhere. But I guess it makes sense. You're not really looking at this side much. But they still added paint to the controls on the back panel. And that's really nice. It's nice to see that touch. Same as on the back of the helmet. There's some fine details that, again, generally speaking, you're not going to notice too much because you're gonna put him on the shelf like this, pointing his gun out at you. So it's just nice to see some bases get covered here. But generally, the Snowtrooper vibes are just kind of like the what? And we're going to run through some articulation, of course, because let's be fair, we're just kind of like excited for what this guy can do. And I got to say, he might be a standout of this wave. He's got some great articulation. So he has that double ball neck system. Allows him to look that far up, which is pretty nice. Bury his chin just about, and then rotate and get some neck pivot. He can bring his arms up to a T pose, and there is a very, incredibly deep butterfly joint. I mean, look at that range. That is, insane range. Now, the shoulder pads are on that ring, so you can rotate the arms 360 and make the shoulder pad travel with it. Single jointed elbows go past 90 and swivel, and then there is a glove swivel, and it makes that whole back forearm bracer rotate with it. There's a little bit of a sculpted in indent in the forearm where it's supposed to ultimately stay, and it's not really accomplishing much by rotating, but it does. And then the hands are on a ball joint. Really love how these ball jointed wrists are turning out. I wasn't the biggest fan at first, but they're definitely growing on me. Something that I love, this guy has the double ball jointed waist. There's one under the belt and then under the bottom of the armor here. And combining them, you can get him lean back really far. And that's about as far forward as he goes. He springs back a little bit, but you got a bunch of rubbery overlays going on there. So that makes sense, unfortunately. He has this rubber comma going on. That's like an ankle length comma. But it's very, very soft, very pliable. And that is nice. He can kick his legs straight forward. Tiny little bit back in there, actually. Not that you can really see it, but it can. There's no thigh rotation. There's a little bit of a pivot on the ball joint there, but the single jointed knees go past 90 and then swivel at the knee so you can accomplish your leg rotations there. He has boot swivel, which feels a little redundant with that knee swivel. I don't know. It just feels like there's a lot of rotation happening, right here, but that's all right. And then his feet can point pretty far down, pretty far forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing you to get him into some pretty decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground. It makes for a good stormtrooper. Here's the AT-RT pilot next to the other Imperial Remnant figures and Colonel Ward and the Mandalorian from the same wave. He's very much a fun addition to this set of figures. These figures are all very good in their own ways, and he is no exception. The weathering is excellent. The new Snowtrooper parts have me very excited. And yeah, it's just a very good-looking set. They all seem to scale very well together. So end of the day, what do I think of the AT-RT driver? I think he's really cool. And I'm not just hung up on the fact that he's basically a new Snowtrooper with a different helmet. But he's objectively a fun figure. He poses very well. He's decoed very well. He looks exactly like we see the brief glimpses from the teasers that we've gotten so far. And I'm so excited for the movie to see these guys in all of their action. I will say, it is unfortunate that Black Series does not have the nerve to gamble with an AT-RT. It is not that large a vehicle. Vale's Toys just made theirs. They were able to do it for $100. I'd gladly pay more than that for an officially licensed Hasbro one. And Hasbro, they have the nerve to make the majority of figures over the last 5 years be from the Mandalorian show. And with some peg warmers in the mix, a lot of the important ones have sold fairly well. And you would think with this movie coming out, the first new movie in a long time, they would want to have like one like really cool staple item in the Black Series. Like, you know, you got all these $25 or $27 figures. You know, surely there's got to be that one really cool item in the mix. And alas, Vintage Collection got one, but Black Series did not. Maybe it's yet to come. Who knows for sure? Maybe something made to order on the Pulse site. That would be really cool to see. But, you know, sucks that we're going to get this ATRT scene and all we get are the guys and no ATRTs. But I digress. It's still a very nice figure, one that I'm glad to have on the shelf without the ATRTs. If he had only come packed with a vehicle, it would have kind of sucked because I would have wanted to also put one with my Stormtroopers anyway. So I would gladly buy the ATRT with this guy packed in again as a second pickup of this figure. That would not be a problem to me. But anyways, I'm going to go work on something else now. I highly recommend this guy and everyone else in the wave so far. So, may the Force be with you. Thank you for watching my video. I look forward to talking to you in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.